And welcome back. I gotta find a new phrase, but it is the IEM Sao Paulo qualifiers. This is, of course, the North American qualifiers to see who gets the fully paid trip to represent and fight in Brazil. I am Rifkin, joined today by Zombie Grub, and spawning here in the lower right corner of Frost in this brand new best of 3 in the winner's bracket. It is Juanito, aka Major. You can find him on Twitter at MajorSC2 or on the Zerg Talk Show. He's the only non-Zerg player in Zerg chat, from what I understand, and he's pretty funny guy.
And in the bottom left, as the green Protoss player, I got to help out with the pronunciation, Capoch?
I believe it's Capoch. That's how I've heard it said in the past. If it's anything different, I wouldn't know better. But I'll say in advance, I'm pronouncing it Capoch, and if that's wrong, I apologize to his fans. But you can find him on Twitter at Capoch_esports. I thought it was Capoch, like Puck, for a while, and then I was told that was completely wrong, so that's why I'm assuming it's Capoch.
Well, it's like one of those things where, like my last name, for instance, where everyone thinks it's more complicated than it really is.
Mine's easy. It's just Rogers. I've got like the whitest last name.
You do have the whitest last name.
Yeah, it helps too being half Japanese. Like it throws everyone off the
scent. Oh,
scent.
that's right. I keep forgetting. Like every time you mention it, I'm like, really? Oh, right, I knew that.
Duh. But okay, at TVP, we just finished Canada 1. We go right into another. Of course, we'll see how this one goes. I can't speak. The problem with Major, this guy is so unpredictably good. Like, he's got his off weeks where you're like, wow, how could Major possibly play so bad? And then you've got his best weeks where he wins, like, Copa America. Like, he can be the best. He can also have, like, these really bad games where you just see throws happen. I'm very much forward looking to seeing how he does today, because, I mean, I imagine he's in a good mindset. It's a big tournament. This is a really important tournament, and who wouldn't want a fully paid trip to Brazil? I mean, let's be honest.
Well, we do see it's going to be a one-base Widowmine drop, I believe. So that's going to be rather surprising for Capoch to deal with. It's going to happen way sooner than you'd expect. And the probe, I don't believe will be scouting anytime soon. Yeah, it's going the wrong way first.
It's kind of nice, too, for... I think we've all seen it at this point, how problematic, I guess we'll call it, Oracles can be in this matchup. If you do open like this, of course, you'll have the Widowmines you can bury in your mineral line. In a worst-case scenario, you can actually deal with the Oracles.
Yeah. The good thing about this, too, is that, yeah, on 2 base, it also helps, but on 1 base, you're going to scout it before anything actually happens. Anyways, Capoch, I don't think he's going to be... I mean, he definitely could, but he's yet to scout, so I feel like he's definitely not going to be choosing his tech route, like, at least until the very least, until he actually scouts where his opponent is. But Major, the thing about, like, 1 base versus 2 base, it happens about a minute, at least, faster or slower, whatever, than you're used to. So, you know, if the Widowmine drop usually hits around like 7 minutes maybe, then it's going to hit around 6, and Capoch is going to be completely underprepared and been like, what just happened there?
He's got to have a good idea this is coming, though. A really common opening we see in this matchup, which, well, you guys saw last series, is to go for a Reaper. Capoch has seen no Reaper at this point in the game. And really, there's only a couple ways you can open this matchup. And because Major, well, he's kind of got to flip a coin, right? Like, you know, Greedy, Reaper, or Widowmines. I mean, there's not a whole lot of variations.
That's a really good point. Like, Capoch has definitely been like... I mean, it's very possibly just assuming that Major went for 14cc, where you also don't get a Reaper, but otherwise, the Reaper expand is the most popular one, so he might be thinking something's already up.
Well, whatever he's getting ready for, it's not going to fare well against these Widowmines. We don't have any detection capabilities yet. He didn't open the Stargate. He didn't open the Robo. If those Widowmines burrow, it could be problematic. A Forger's coming down so he can build a cannon, but that's still going to be losses before the cannon's built.
Yeah. Looks like there's also going to be a Hellion, so it's going to be 1 Marine? I don't know. I was like, what the?
This is the weirdest drop, yeah. I was going to say, but then, of course, he's meeting up with his bros over here. 5 Marines instead of 2 Widowmines. I love that he's sending 2 Hellions around the map, too. So basically what Major's hoping to do is drive all of the probes out of the main into the natural and then come in with the Hellions. And, of course, even though they're Stalkers here and a Zealot here, they don't exactly clean up Hellions fast.
Yeah, well, the drop is commencing right now. Capoch with a really, really quick withdraw out has he's really got to keep in mind whether actually Italians maybe reveal themselves a little too fast, but so far Capoch doing really, really well, taking care of the Marines.
He got the sentry with that too. What a great snipe! But now the Hellions wrap in. Does put the Mothership Core back. Major did get about 3 kills on this for Workers. Not the greatest thing, but he killed a sentry. He killed a Zealot, and quite frankly, the probes are not safe yet. Or no, that wasn't a Zealot, it was a Stalker, I think, right? Yeah, a Stalker.
Unfortunately, 2 Hellions, of course, don't one-shot probes, so he doesn't get a few
No, but look how long it takes to clean them up. This is what's so great about a light, fast unit. That being said, the main has still not been cleaned up and in danger of actually losing a very critical pylon. Forces the overcharge. What am I about to rearm? Ugh. Probe goes down.
So a total of 10 kills right there, I believe, including the scouting probe as well. Oh no, look at that, it's just hiding right there. You sneaky probe, you. Still hasn't scouted. Like, it has no actual scouting information.
Big thanks to Tinzu, by the way, in chat, linking this around. If you guys want to see Puck versus SWF, that's currently going on Gruntar TV. You can pretty much trust our mods with links, guys. They'll be directing you for the night to where you can go to find matches that we're not covering personally. So, big props to them. And of course, Farside, who's in chat, will be updating you guys on scores as these games go on. So you'll know that, like, okay, nobody's casting this, but now we know the updated score of that series. In the meantime, Major has, of course, made those tech labs with his extra buildings. Sometimes there'll be the tech lab first on the racks and the 2 extra reactors, but he is looking to play a little more Marauder heavy this game.
Yeah. I mean, for the longest time, Terrans were favoring Marauders. They're just so, they're so much buff. They take Storms, they take Colossus shots. They're super, super versatile, and of course, it leads you to be able to delay those ghosts for a little while as they can soak up so much more.
Ooh, speaking of updates, by the way, guys, looks like Ghost User has been completely eliminated / disqualified for not showing today. So, he's going to be the first one out of the qualifiers, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I hope... I don't want to say I hope that was on purpose, but it would also really suck if he just, like, slept in late or something.
Yeah. Well, he is, of course, in Europe. There's a couple of guys competing today. I mean, we got, like, what, State in Korea, Ghost User in Europe. I don't know if... Is Kane involved? I don't think Kane's actually involved, so never mind. But yeah, anyways, we've got people playing from all over the world. Hopefully it doesn't affect them too much. Anyways, drop, is this going to be a drop or an elevator? Just using the high ground vision for now to snipe off that pylon. Major getting very aggressive with a small handful of Marines.
Yeah, that's really ballsy. Of course, you can at least load most of them out, but Capoche definitely has a big enough army to take care of it, especially considering that Stim's not even halfway done.
Loving the vision of Capoche's base, by the way. As you look around, he's got pylons covering everywhere. So, yeah, the drop's still coming in, but he saw it coming. He was able to react. Mothership Core didn't even die from that.
No. Oh, I don't know if it's... it's always hard to tell if it was worth it, because of course it's at 0 now, so it has to wait even longer. But it's 100 gas, so that's usually a big chunk.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's your Zealot Charge right there. That's your level 1 weapon upgrades. I mean, it's just... you don't want... Gas is the rare commodity in StarCraft 2. So often players float minerals... gas, but... yeah, they float minerals, not gas. There we go. That's the phrasing I was looking for.
Yeah. Terran now, or Major, is definitely mostly Marine heavy, even though he did get those tech labs so early. Of course, they cost more and cost more gas, obviously, so a lot of times you have to wait a little while longer to have a very heavy Marauder army. But he's also getting a very fast third, like very, again, ballsy, putting on the low ground. The probe did spot it. Yeah.
The Medivacs got here way too early, by the way. Army wasn't even close.
Well, this is a very scary army now. They do have Stim. They also have Common Chips. +1 is also going to finish. Good, decent force fields. Not exactly splitting it in half. So the Zealots will, of course, not do too much after the initial Marines go down. Actually working against it somewhat there.
Yeah, Stim for Majors is working out quite nicely. That overcharge, non-existent, making this so almost difficult, almost impossible to deal with. Cannon going to get a couple more kills on the way out, but that Colossus cannot even get out in time. The Nexus may fall, but the Colossus should be able to clean this up. But still, that's not an acceptable loss. It's not where Capoche wants to be.
Pretty sure that Nexus death was literally based off of the fact he didn't have a cannon, and he didn't have to use that cannon on that initial drop when there was no Stim. He was just afraid that there was. He didn't actually have to use it. The army definitely would have been enough. So that Nexus going down, usually a very good indication that you're going to lose this game, especially considering Major definitely not going 2-base only like that. Like Capoche saw the third go down.
This puts Capoche in a really bad spot, because now he's left with like 8 Colossus and 2 Stalkers versus an army of Marauders. He doesn't have Thermal Lance either, guys. Worth noting, that means he's not going to outrange these Marauders. This is quite scary for him, and I think Major realizing this did stim those Marauders forward, hoping to get some free shots off.
Yeah. Capoche was trying to do something really greedy here by just going straight up to charge lot Archon, it looks like. You know, if you can get away with it and have those 2 splash really early on, it can be very effective, but of course if they hit at a good timing, then it's very vulnerable, and that's what Major did. So Major's going to be taking a 60 supply lead, and I guess there's a Zealot counterattack. How much damage did he do? Nothing.
It's not getting anything done, no, but I like this a lot better than what happened in the Desert series, where he was just turtling up hardcore. But that being said, Capoche is even further behind, so I think it kind of feels like what's the best answer, and it just, I guess, not getting baited by Medivacs seems to be the one the one thing we're learning today for Protoss players. Getting caught in the middle of the open, though. These Colossus put a force field on the south, but that's not going to matter. This is the last bit of Kampoch's army, Zombie Grub, and it looks like game number 1 will be going to Major.
Not even sure what his army is out there, but of course it works out for Major. GG is called.
This
No?
is normally
No
where
lead?
you quit? I don't know.
Okay, I guess he was like, well, my army kind of survived, so I guess I'll stay for a little while longer.
I don't know. He doesn't have the Nexus, right, though? But so it's like, you can't really one base it at this point, no matter how much you kill Major's army. He's on 3 bases to your 1.
There you go.
Okay, a little bit of an awkward end, though.
Yeah, a little bit. It almost made him look like he didn't GG, but of course he did.